Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Man, it's a beautiful day outside here on the west side of Georgia, near the Alabama line now. I want to thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day and your schedules to listen to what I got to say. I mean, it means so much to me to know that people actually care about what I got to say, and they share it and they pass it around, and that means a lot to this old boy. It means more to the Lord because you're sharing his message, and it lets me know that what I'm hearing from God is affecting you. And thank you for that. It's a season of Thanksgiving, so we got to be thankful, right? So I'm very thankful for you guys. Have you found yourself sitting in a position with God where you're like, all right, God, why am I in this position? You know, I've done this, I've been here, done that, got a t-shirt, and now we're in a position where you're like, okay, why am I tucked away like I am? Why do you have your hand covering me right now? What is out there that is trying to affect me, and that so much so that you have me tucked away? And to be honest with you, I've felt like that lately. I felt like God has tucked us away in a place where either A, he's preparing a place before us that we don't know about, and I've kind of heard that from several people, or B, he's protecting us from things. Either or, I'm good with that because it's God and I trust him in all things. It reminds me a lot of times of when the prophets would find themselves in peril or in odd situations where they were like, all right, really, what's happening here, God? Or can you imagine Paul and Silas being in jail, or Paul being shipwrecked? You know, he's probably like, really? Really? Again? Listen, again, God? You know? So you find yourself in these positions and you realize that God is either A, protecting you, or B, preparing a place before you, and that if he wasn't protecting you, then you would get in the middle of something you didn't need to be in the middle of, or he's preparing a place for you, so much so that you can't go into that spot without messing it up. Just like when the children they couldn't go to the land of milk and honey until it was time. It wasn't prepared for them yet. It wasn't ready to receive them yet. And they had to, there's a lot of debate whether they should have just walked straight in and took it right away, or that God had to send them around for 40 years in the wilderness. You know, there's a lot of debate there. But either way, it is what it is, and it happened the way it happened, so you have to believe that God was involved in every bit of it, because he led them by a pillar of fire at night and by smoke during the day. So you have to trust God in these situations. You have to let God be God. I know that just sounds simple. I know it sounds cliche-ish, but it is the fact. If you're not allowing God to be God, then you're not functioning in the will of God. I had to be careful how I said that. God he's so much more than we could ever comprehend, imagine. His ways are so much higher than ours. His thoughts are well past ours. You got to understand, in order for him to prepare a place for you and to keep you protected and out of the way, then he has to manipulate a lot of people's lives in order for it to flow almost like a sheet of music. You know, it's got to be able to be put together in time and be able to play it out perfectly. So God has to manipulate and move things and move the chessboard around, whatever he's got to do things in the way that he wants them done. Now, I realize God speaks and things happen. God moves and things react. So when this season is ready to come to an end, and it should be coming to an end soon. We're approaching about we're in our second year of a season that we're in. So I've noticed since marrying my wife that things happening seasons of 3 years. And it's just been that way ever since we've been married. We've moved like every 3 years. I mean, it's just one of those things. So we're coming to an end of a season where God's going to reveal to us what we're supposed to do, where we're supposed to go, how we're supposed to handle things, and all that. That's great. We're preparing to enter into a 30-day consecration with God, where the only thing we read outside of what I have to read for work or what she has to read for work is going to be God-centered, God-based. And we're going to find a devotional, a book, or a particular book in the Bible, and we're going to hammer it. I mean, we're just going to go at it hard for 30 days with some fasting and prayer mixed in. If you guys want to join us on that, we're going to start it in January. January 1's always a good time to start. We're actually going to start January 2nd because January 1's kind of a rough day to start stuff after being up late at night. So I said all that to say this. If you're in a position similar to me where you feel like you're just wondering what's going on, why is this going on, God? What is this season about? Why am I in this season? Just hold your serve. Just hold your patience. You're there for a reason. One reason or another. Either God's protecting you or God is caring for what's coming for you, or He's preparing what's before you. Either way, it's happening and God's involved. Don't lose your faith. Don't lose your hope. Hold on to what God's got for you. You guys be blessed. I love you. Thank you again for listening to me for almost 2 years now. You guys have been listening to these messages, and I am so appreciative. You guys are awesome. Share this word with somebody that might be in a similar season. Maybe it'll bless them. You guys be great in Jesus' name.